Hi, Ibrahim Bey. Welcome and thank you so much for joining us today. It's great to have you at Venture Vibe. Let's start with a quick intro. Could you briefly tell us about yourself, your background, and current work?
Thank you so much, Ibrahim. Thank you for having me today for your interview as well. My name is Ibrahim Ismailov. I'm a founder and CEO of the Turan Trade Business Development Company, which specializes in supporting the businesses across Central and Eastern Europe wishing to enter markets in Caucasus and Central Asia, and vice versa for the companies and startups from our region are aiming to enter the markets in Europe and Central Asia as well. We did basically run a number of the programs based also on my experience from the oil and gas industry that I worked for over 10 years. And then most of the time was involved in the private sector development, entrepreneurship development, and also business development, focusing on areas which related to the agritech, fintech, also areas related to the general innovation ecosystem support. So this is basically in a nutshell about my experience and experience of the company in that region. We do cooperate with international players as well. We have contracts with the oil and gas companies on innovation ecosystem support. We do cooperate with the state agencies with the aim of innovation development. We do cooperate with the regional trade and business development associations. So from that perspective, we're trying to leverage the resources of our partner organizations in delivering our mission. So this is in a nutshell, basically.
Great intro and background. Thank you so much. So let's talk a bit about the ecosystem. How would you describe the current innovation and startup scene in Azerbaijan? Any sectors or trends catching your eye?
To make it really short and catchy, it's young and emerging ecosystem. Azerbaijan as a country gained independence roughly about 30 years ago, still is in building economy as well. Primarily was fueled by the oil and gas industry until about 10 years ago. There was a strategic shift to expand and diversify the economy with a focus on areas where the country has a competitive advantage. And the key advantage is positions is geography and location. So Azerbaijan is striving to play a role of the regional hub and the center for the regional development. And with infrastructures like connectivity, logistics, oil and gas infrastructure, it's becoming really the pioneer in some of the areas connecting Central Asia, Caucasus to the Europe as well. The same also applies for the connections from the north to south. Mm-hmm. And having benefited from its geographical location, it also provides the resources from oil and gas for development of the sectors, primarily focusing on agritech, fintech, AI, e-Gov areas as well. And with that, there are some institutions who are primarily focusing on supporting those directions. Obviously, from the logistics point of view, they established a free zone in Azerbaijan, which becomes a regional hub and a player with the tax incentives, with additional initiatives for the companies across the borders to trade and deal in the region. But also, for example, under Ministry of Digital Development and Transport, there is an institutionalized agency for innovation management and development support. And they do play the leading role in trying to help the local startups ecosystem to thrive and develop, and also bringing up the international partnerships into the play so they can enjoy the most of it as well. So this is actually vibrant, young, emerging areas. This is on a positive side, but also there is challenges related to the ecosystem itself. It's scale. So Azerbaijan is a country of 10 million. So if you think of the international scale, obviously for startup ecosystem, it's not really the big market itself. But I think the focus here should be is using the platform hub for the further integration and entry to the markets.
Perfect. You mentioned a bit about attractive sides of Azerbaijan, but what makes Azerbaijan attractive for global founders or investors?
As I said, the key thing is that it's an excellent entry point for the major market in the region of 200 million plus of Central Asia, Caucasus, and also the wider region. So from that perspective, it offers stability. It offers the opportunities to merge the resource and experience and talent, local talent, which was developed as a result of the oil and gas projects. There is also increasing number of the young pool of the professionals who are going back from studies abroad. And from the talent management point of view, this is also a unique opportunity, especially for the region to get engaged. So this is something that I guess for international players would be a key strength, to use the local resources, opportunities, and all the opportunities related to the regional place.
True. Now, zooming out a bit, how do you see Azerbaijan's role in connecting the Caucasus, Central Asia, and Europe?
That's a good point. And this was a key theme for our project that we launched as a Turan trade back a few years ago in partnership with Innovation Agency of Azerbaijan. The program was called Discover Europe. And basically it was targeting the local entrepreneurs, young people, startups who would wish to enter the wide opportunities in Europe. And this is something that also revealed a number of the challenges, opportunities for the area as well. Obviously, the first challenge is the awareness of the local startup of regulatory framework in those markets. The challenge of having Azerbaijani registered companies to accessing the finance in these areas as well. So these are some of the things that I think were evident. But in terms of the opportunities, areas where they have a strong competitiveness, for example, e-Gov areas or fintech areas, there is also mutual interest from the countries in Europe to benefit from the digitalization efforts that were done in Azerbaijan. So this is, I think, the very good connecting point.
Makes sense. What about local companies in Azerbaijan? What kind of opportunities do you see for foreign startups or clusters looking for collaborate with local companies or startups in Azerbaijan?
If you look back for times since independence, Azerbaijan has established a unique infrastructure and investment climate. So from the World Bank's Doing Business report, it showed the constant growth in positioning among the international countries from the perspective of the registering the business, doing the business in the country, all the regulatory support, etc., that they get. This is not by chance that all major international investors, especially in oil and gas industry, are present and active in the country for over 30 years now, including the BP, including the other international players who are European or US based as well. So that shows the trust and confidence in the investment climate in Azerbaijan. There are also obviously the challenges for small and medium-sized enterprises. This is primarily around the access to finances or cost of capital. These are usually characteristic for emerging markets. And I think this is something that government, but also the agencies related to the SME development are trying to do their best to support the digitalization of company, reducing the cost of operations, and also helping them with the infrastructure and helping them with the management support and guidance to establish the system. This is in making, so we cannot say that it's kind of fully ready and there are no hurdles, but the direction is positive, and the data which shows that from next year, the income from the non-oil sector for the budget will be equal or exceeding the oil and gas revenues. It's already a good sign that the direction for small and medium enterprise growth is going into a positive way.
Yeah, this is really interesting. And to wrap up, what would be your key advice for global funders who are considering doing business in Azerbaijan?
Well, first of all, I would encourage them to consider Azerbaijan, to study its ecosystem and to identify the unique proposition it has for the wider regional expansion, right? So I would see them as a hub for entry to the region, especially the former Soviet Union countries that we have here, Central Asian access, also some use for the Middle East access as well. So from that perspective, it offers stability, clarity, safety for investments and area. But obviously, enabling factors are build partnerships with the local stakeholders. So Azerbaijani companies value trust, they value personal relationships, etc. So I think that they have to come, visit, enjoy the Azerbaijani food and hospitality first, and understand how the chemistry of the relationship work, and based on that, identify a right partnership and start doing success for their business growth.
Great note to end. Thank you so much.
Appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Thank you. It was really insightful. I'm sure our audience will find your perspective valuable. And we hope to have you with us again in the future, Ibrahim Bey. Thank you.
My pleasure. And thank you for having me again, Ilkhan.